I want to introduce you to my pastor, my spiritual leader, Pastor Richard Reynolds, who's going to pray us in, bless this ceremony, bless the food, and make sure that we are covered to the fullest extent tonight. Please give it up for Pastor Richard Reynolds, New Revelation Church.
Since you put your hands together, don't put them together for me, but let's put them together for our Lord. Come on. Let's lift him up all over the room. Let us pray. Father in heaven, we thank you for all of your blessing. We thank you for all of your provision. We pray your blessing on the food that we are about to consume. And more importantly, we thank you for every all-star that is in the room. Every all-star living on the inside of each and every young person who is here. We thank you that greater are you who lives in us than he who is in the world. We thank you that those gathered in this room are more than conquerors. We thank you that we walk in victory and that we live in victory. We speak peace over our city. We speak peace into every heart. We speak peace into every home. We thank you right now for blowing our minds and doing exceeding and abundantly above all that we can ask or think, according to the power that works in us. We thank you for living in us. We thank you for blessing us. We thank you for keeping us. And we pray in the strong name of Jesus, and we plead your blood over every young person gathered in this room. We call on your holy angels to keep each and every one safe, and they're going and they're coming. We not only thank you for the youth who are gathered here, but we thank you for every adult servant leader in our community who is gathered in this place today. We thank you for every partnership. We thank you for all of the collaborations. We thank you for people working together in unity in order to uplift our city and to provide our young people with a safe place to live and to thrive. Again, we cover them all. We thank you for the leaders who have called us all together. We thank you for the great things that you're going to do. We thank you that what eye has not seen and what ear has not heard and what has not entered into the heart of man is going to begin to manifest in ways that blow our mind. We thank you for the favor that is in the room. We thank you for blessing the work of our hands. We thank you for using us to make a difference in this city. We offer this time to you. We offer our lives to you. And we pray in the name of Jesus that you would have your way. Thank you for the visionaries of this event. Thank you for all who will share. And again, we pray your blessing on the food. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
All right, guys, again, I want to welcome everybody. Voices Ignite 2024. This is day number 2. We had our VIP reception last night. What the VIP reception was, we had all of our panelists, which is our youth, our celebrities, and our community stakeholders. I'm going to stop real quick. I'll wait to everybody. I want to get you guys' attention. I understand if you're eating, but if you can find a seat real quick, I want to get your attention just so you know the run of the program. We definitely want to get started. We want to keep the integrity of the program because we want everybody to be out of here by 8:30, and I think we can definitely do that. If you can hear my voice, 2 claps. 2 claps. Real quick, thank you so much. We have Miss Emerald Gardner in the building. Get up for Miss Emerald Gardner. We have Miss Deanna Dixon, Indianapolis native. She's out in Atlanta. She sung with Miss Beyonce. She has also sung with Kanye West. Miss Deanna Dixon is in the building. Give it up for Miss Deanna Dixon. And definitely, last but not least, we want to give it up for Pastor Jolinda Wade, Dwayne Wade's mom, NBA All-Star, NBA champion. Yes, Miss Jolinda Wade is taking the time to come out and be a part of something here in Indianapolis. So real quick, we wanted this event to happen because with all of the attention on the NBA and our NBA All-Stars and all the different people coming into the community, we wanted to make sure a light was shown on our youth. There's a lot of great things going on with the youth in our city. So with this spotlight being shown on the city this weekend, we wanted to make sure that we gave a spotlight within our own community to our own youth. So if you can hear my voice, young people, this is for you. Please give it up for all of our young people in this room tonight. If we don't show them love in a situation like this, what are we giving? One more time for all of our young people. Yes, thank you, DJ. Where you at? Thank you, DJ. Thank you. All right, real quick. We have a young man coming to the stage that kind of blew the house out last night. His name is Devin Berry. Devin, if you're in the audience, Devin is going to give us a spoken word performance to get our program started off. Please give your attention to the stage. Mr. DB, Devin Berry, where are you?
How y'all doing tonight? Y'all doing good? I'm doing real good. I'm doing blessed and highly favored. I said, stop the violence. Can't you see how hard we crying? Stop the violence. I can't stand the way we have to recite it. Fear shooting through our bodies. Can't leave our homes without the thought of being denied again. Life is meant to be lived, but young is crashing out, don't realize they'll never be alive again. Everyone disappearing left and right urges me to stay out of sight. The ones that swear by the law to protect us divide our families, label us criminals so they have an excuse to take our life. But not all of them bad. Just like not all of us good. We holding each other back. It's time to win. Put down that gun, young man. Let me see you pick up a pen and write. Draw the attention away from death and create beautiful life. It's time for us to do better as a people. How do we expect equality if we can't treat each other equal? Use your voice. Speak against injustice. Create change. I know for a fact I'm not the only one that can get up on a stage and speak into the air my vision. I choose peace because fighting fire with fire burns us all and creates infinite victims. Let's lead a better example for the kids who wishing they the next generation. Let's get them some heroes instead of villains. Stop the violence.
Give it up for Mr. Devin Berry. Yes, yes. We're going to keep the show moving. Within our Inner Beauty New Boy mentoring programs, we operate under a philosophy called connection before correction. So regardless of what kind of program we offer our young people, it is primarily geared to make a connection with the young person. Once we make that connection with the young person, then we can start, whether it be accentuating a thought process that they already have, or maybe reframing in their mind what they're going through in their life, whether it be about school, what they're doing at home, in the community, but it starts with the connection. One way we do that within our program is through our youth martial arts class. So you see our young people over here in our youth martial arts class, they're gonna give you a brief demonstration of what we do in our class every day. So if you don't mind, give it up for our Heinz Shotokan Karate class. Now, hold on. Shotokan Karate is a combination of Japanese and Okinawan martial arts. So we have a certain language that we incorporate into our class. I need y'all to help me out with this language. So if you can hear my voice, I want you to come from the bottom of your stomach and say, us. On 3, 1, 2, 3, us. Us. Now let me hear you guys say, 1, 2, 3, us. We start out every class with our virtues. Every class starts out with our virtues. We start and we end with virtues, which is basically principles that we want our kids to live by in karate. My daughter, Corey Hines, is going to give you guys our virtues. Ready? Muso, eyes closed. Let's go, Corey, nice and loud.
We as Karate Kans give thanks for the opportunity to improve ourselves, to improve our personal behavior, to improve our character, to improve our attitude, to improve our moral consciousness, love, respect, unity, patience, effort, etiquette, self-control, self-confidence. My mind is strong.
My mind is strong. Louder. My mind is strong. My body's strong. My body's strong. Who do you believe in? Who do you believe in? Who do you love? Who do you love? Musayame, eyes open. Sogarachi. Right, us? Give it up. Give it up. Yes. One thing I just want you to see is the unison. If we can get our kids to be united, there's a rhythm to karate. So when we go to Sogarachi, we go to Hachidachi, it should sound like one. Relax, shake your arms out. Get ready. Sogarachi. One more time. Shake it out. Sogadachi. We believe in the definition of discipline that says if you can instill the ability into a child to make them do what they don't feel like doing, but they know it got to be done whether they like it or not, that will be a beautiful thing. Think about it. That's our definition of discipline. If I can instill in my child, my young son, the ability to do what he doesn't feel like doing, but he know it got to be done whether you like it or not. That's our definition of discipline. And that's what I want you to get from these young people up here tonight. Ready, hachi dach. Ready, left punch up, right hand in chamber. We're going to give you a brief demonstration of what we do in class. Ready, deep breath, breathe in. Let it out slow. We got to be together. In. Let it out. We have fathers in our karate class. You got 2 fathers that are up there with their daughters and their sons. 3 fathers that are in class with their daughters and their sons. We love for parents to drop their kids off at our program. But you know what we love even more? When parents stay with their kids in our program. Because then parents can help use the philosophy that we incorporate and partner with us so this can be a holistic experience. Ready? Key on the punch. 1. Too soft. Too soft. Too soft. 2. 3. 4. 5. 2 punches, 1 key out. 1 to the head, 1 to the body. Breathe on the first, key out on the second. Ready? 1. 2. 3. 4. You better wake up, Tiffany. Don't make me call you out on this line. You better get strong. 2 punches, key out on the second, breathe on the first. 1. 2. 3 punches, key out on the third, breathe on the first, breathe on the second, key out on the third. Head, body, groin. 3 punches. 1, 2, 3. Ready? Go. 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 Sogadachi. Right, us. Good. Give it up. Yes. So this is kata team. Let's go. If you're not on the kata team, have a seat. Kata team. Everybody else have a seat. Let's go. Right here with me. Everybody, front line. Off. Off. Run. 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 Pastor Jolinda said, I had a start time of 6 o'clock. It's 6:40. What we doing? I got you, Pastor. Work with me. I got you. Let's go. Spread it out. Kata, come on. Y'all kata team. Get in the front. Little people in the front. Wake up. We're going to make this happen. They will not punch you in the face, but they're going to get a little close to you because of the space. So move back as far as you can. There we go. There we go. Ready? Sogadachi. Ready? Us? We got to be louder than that. Don't let the crowd scare you. Look back. Don't look at nobody in their eye. You look back at that wall. Sogadachi. Again, right. We're going to go step by step. Hashirachi. Ready. Step strong and step confident. Step. 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 Kia. Step. 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 Step 1. Step 2. Step 3. Kia. Step. 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 Kia. Hachidach. Yes. Anytime we could get our kids and adults moving in alignment like that, we good. Sogadachi. Right, us? All right, where are young ladies at? Let's go. Self-defense technique number 1. Young ladies. I need 3 young ladies up. Let's go. Move, move. 3 young ladies. Where you at? My young ladies at? Spread out. I need a uki. Give them a uki. 3 young ladies. This is our wild swing. This is the first technique our young people learn in karate. On my count. Ready. Key on every move. Step. Grab. Punch. Grab. Get them out of here. Take them down. Hey, stop. Watch your back. Look at little Kay done took her daddy down. She done took her daddy down. Hey, Uki's up. Let's go. Uki's up. Good. Let's go. Technique number 2. Grab from behind. Switch spots. Switch spots. Face the audience. Ladies, there you go. There you go. Let's go, guys. You got to grab. Ready? Grab. Let's go. Grab. Stop that foot. Break loose. Grab that leg. Hey, get him out of here. Get him out. Get him out. Stomp. Good. And watch your back. Hachi dash. Let's go. Hachi dash. Ready. Sogadachi. Ready, us. Whole class line up. All class line up. Whole class line up. Say us. Give it up one more time. Han Shotokan Karate class. Ready. Sogadachi. Bow to the audience, us. Good. Get out of here, guys. Great job. Great job. Let's get our young entrepreneurs up here. If you are a inner beauty new boy young entrepreneur, come to the front of the stage, right here. Inner beauty new boy young entrepreneur. We have a young entrepreneur program where we have young people from the ages of 6 to 18 that we try to cultivate, nurture, empower, and educate about entrepreneurship. Where you at, young entrepreneurs? Braden, don't go out. Get up here right now. You text me every day and then you run from the, get up here, man. Run, run, run. Let's go. Young entrepreneurs. So every young person that you see in the front is part of our Young Entrepreneurs program called YEP. These young people have decided to create their own business. Where's Patrick Collier? Where's Patrick Collier? Patrick Collier, where are you? All right, my man Cameron, you're going to have to represent for your man. So these young people are part of our Young Entrepreneurs program. Each one of them are going to introduce themselves. What we do, like I said, is we come alongside of them. We try to empower, educate, cultivate their vision, and turn their vision into reality where they create their program, their business, and then we give them seed money for the business. And then we walk alongside of them as their business grows. And if you know, whether it be sports or entrepreneurship, we can teach life skills through that. We can teach life skills through sports. We can teach character development. We can teach behavior modification. We can be therapeutic in our approach. Because some of the stuff that we do with these kids is therapy, but it's not traditional therapy. It's very unconventional. So what I just want them to do today is introduce themselves as the CEO and founder of their business and tell you why they started their business. Grab that mic from me, Patrick. Let's start, man. I don't know where you were, man. You hiding out? No, you start. You got the mic. You start.
Good afternoon. My name is Cameron Washington. I'm 16 years old. Me and Patrick Collier started a nonprofit organization called CC Cares, where we don't give back into our community, but we feed into our community. We help out juveniles, foster kids, and homeless people. We have partnered with DCS, New Boy, and Inner Beauty. Instead of people always thinking that we're just doing this for the money, no, we're doing this for the community. We're not doing it for us. We're not doing it for our families. We're doing it for y'all because we love y'all and we appreciate y'all for always supporting us and showing out.
Facts. And to piggyback off of what my business partner said, our mission statement is to feed into opposed to giving back. That's our mission statement because we came to a conclusion that us black and brown boys in the community that we live in, we were never put in a position to be given to, so we want to feed into as much as we can. This past December, we had our second annual holiday food drive and giveaway. We partnered with DCS and New Boy for the past 2 years on that. In the New Church of Revelations, Pastor Reynolds. They've been great supports for us, and we're happy to be here on the panel and speak truth to power.
How y'all doing this evening? My name is Dwayne Proctor. I am a book writer of a book called My Life Not Yours. And the reason why I joined the YEP program, because I always thought, well, I knew couldn't nobody tell my story better than me. And if I get my story out there, I can always motivate other youth to do the same with their story. So my story is about all the obstacles, the challenges, and the struggles that I overcome. If I can motivate another youth out here to do the same thing, that's all my book is about. I just want to motivate them and let them know if I can get through my struggle, you can get through yours.
Give it up. Give it up.
All right, hello everybody. My name is Carter Ballard. I have a business named The Boy. named The Boy. It stands for the best of you. And the reason why I made this is because my mom, she did it as just fashion. I used to wear it like a long time ago. But then a lot of people in my life told me I should make it to a business. And so I did. And that's really it. It's just the boy, the best to me, the best of you for me is just like my talent, my skills, just showing it all out. And the reason why the bear has like stitches and a button for an eye because the struggle made him. Like he's been through so much stuff, but he keeps on going on with his life. So that's the reason I made The Boy.
Give it up for Carter Ballard. Carter, how old are you, man? Give Carter the mic. How old are you?
I'm 9 going on 10 years old.
9 years old. 9 years old.
My name's Braden Dunn. I'm 13 years old. As a kid that's never been experienced to the system, I want to create a business called Brave Bundles Express. The Brave stands for my name, Braden. The bundle stands for I'm giving stuff to kids. The Express is I don't want DCS calling my phone and asking me for their next care packages. I want to be on it and provide it. The reason I created this business because I was researching and found out that when kids get taken out their home and put in DCS, they don't have anything, so I want to create a care package for them. I also wrote a book if you want to know more about me. Thank you.
Hey everybody, my name is Eric Whistler and I'm the CEO and founder of Overcomer Clothing, the brand created to empower people to overcome their obstacles. I started that business at the age of 14 with the help of Kareem Hines and Miss Crystal and the rest of the YP program. I'm also the CEO and founder of Univision Creative Agency, the business I created to inspire and empower other young people as well as adult entrepreneurs to continue in business the best that they can. My mission overall really is just to be the light to the world, or the light in the world, because Christ is the light of the world. So thank you all for your time.
Testing. Yeah, so you guys stay here real quick. If you guys don't mind, we'll be done here in an hour. Quick, we're gonna get our All-Star Weekend started. But I don't want, if you guys don't mind, if you're talking, if you can please bring it down a little bit. Give us an hour. Just give us an hour of complete focus on our kids in this event. And if you can't, I totally get it. My wife be telling me all the time, you can't talk to people like that. I'm being super respectful in every way I can, but it is about these kids. So if you're in a position to pay attention to them, and for whatever reason, we have a big hallway out there. You can go if you want to eat out there. If you want to talk, that is totally okay. But this is not about you. This is about them this weekend, especially when we woke up this morning to 2 young ladies being shot. Y'all didn't see the news? Beach Grove, 2 young ladies. One 7. The other one was 15. Shot in a hail of 50 bullets. Somebody went to their apartment and shot 50 times into an apartment and shot a 7-year-old and a 15-year-old. 2023, we had the most murders of young people under the age of 18 than we have ever had in our city. I know sometimes we get immersed in what we're doing in our everyday lives, and if it don't come to your front door, you think it doesn't exist. It exists. And it's just a phone call away. So when we get a chance to acknowledge these kids and instill something different in them, we got to take it. Because we quick to chastise them. We work with kids every day. We are quick to chastise our kids. And I think as parents and as adults, sometimes we are too busy listening to respond instead of listening to understand. If you don't take anything from tonight, listen to our kids or listen to your kids when they talk to you and try to listen to understand them. Because if you don't listen to understand them, the streets will. The streets will. Social media will. And social media and music right now is dictating youth culture. Social media and music is dictating youth culture. So when you got young entrepreneurs as young as 9 telling you about his vision and his passion, and when you got young people up here that are brave enough to stand in front of you, it should be a standing ovation, because you never know what that can give them. Maybe they go, wow, this is how I get my positive attention, and then it might be another young person in the audience looking at like, man, if they getting that kind of attention, maybe if I do something like them, I can get that kind of attention. So one more time for our young entrepreneurs. Yeah. Now, Emerald, I'm going to go and give you your mic. Testing, 1, 2.
Testing. Can you
No
hear
doubt.
me?
You could get that side of the stage. I'll get this side. So we're going to have a conversation.
Yes.
We're going to have a conversation. We're going to have an open, honest, and transparent conversation. And I will say this, guys. There are some young people that I wish was in this audience and I wish was on this stage, but they are gone. We have had some young, powerful voices taken from us. Powerful. When I say taken, I mean murdered. So this is not your cookie cutter panel. We've talked to the youth about it. We've talked to our community stakeholders. We want to have a real conversation. So our young people, because we're not getting ready to shout out questions to y'all. We want our young people to ask the first question. I don't care who you ask it to, but we are focusing on mental health. Who has the mic first? I just need you to introduce yourself.
Oh, okay.
No, we'll go.
I could call somebody out.
Who got the mic? Stand up, introduce yourself, and tell us who you're asking that question to. A celebrity panelist, and it doesn't have to be anybody individual. You can say this is for the celebrity panel, or this is for our community stakeholders, and then ask your question.
My name is Tremaine Fields. My name is Tremaine Fields. This is for the community panelists, and I was just wondering, are y'all stressed?
Can you repeat that?
Are y'all stressed? Yes. Y'all got bills to pay? Stuff happening, got a flat tire? Now, does that go into mental health? Does that make you mentally stressed?
I love his question. His question is basically, are you stressed? Does the work in the community affect you so much that it's making you stressed? That's his question.
Anybody that's on the panel?
Anybody?
Well, the reason I would say I'm not, I understand them are stressful situations, but the reason I would say I'm not stressed because I know what to do with it today. I said the reason why I would say that I'm not stressed, even though he named stressful situations, is because I've learned how to handle that, what to do with it today.
So did he ask about a stressful situation like a flat tire?
No, so I understand what you're saying. So
Explain a
for
little
me,
bit more for the audience.
It would be, are you stressed because of your situation? Everybody knows my situation. Stress is what killed my sister, so I don't stress. I don't let the work that I do affect my everyday.
Tremaine, does that answer your question? Because
you want another
couldn't.
question?
Does that answer your question?
You want more?
I want a little bit more.
I got you.
So basically what I'm asking is, what is mentally draining to you? Like, what is mentally causing you, well, mental issues with you in your life?
That's
I would
kind
just,
of
I mean,
go ahead.
you can answer. I think really, that really be mentally draining for a person like me in the field of work I do is probably really the harsh reality. You know what I mean? Like, you guys face so much adversity every day, you know, with the social media, you know what I mean, the peer pressure from, you know, your peers and stuff, and all these little name brands and all of that, and try to keep up with everything. Like, the whole world is really competitive right now. So it kind of puts you on like it make y'all mental kind of, like, y'all feel mentally exhausted because y'all see all y'all peers or certain people y'all glorify on the internet doing certain things, and then y'all kind of evaluate y'all life and kind of look like, dang, man, I must not be doing enough because I'm not at the same level or tier as y'all peers and stuff. But one thing I would say to help y'all get through tough situations like that is, you know what I mean, like, you got to always remember that there is light at the end of the tunnel. You know what I'm saying? Like, nothing is never going to be easy. You're not going to be able to skip no steps. Even with my music career, like, this is my 10th year doing music and whatnot. Like, I wasn't able to skip any steps. Like, I went sacrifice homeless, all types of stuff, you know, just to be in the position that I'm in now. Just because I got all this stuff now, that don't mean I had it before, but I just worked hard, you know what I mean? So doing the right things, you know what I mean? Just, you know, even in a dark space, just keeping an open mind and whatnot, you know, just seek through your plan and you can accomplish your goals, and don't let nobody influence you to do anything that you really don't want to do, because there is consequences behind your actions. Like, I'm a victim of multiple artists that I didn't deal with, or little brothers, I call them little brothers, that then put themselves in a situation that then cost them their freedom for a long time. Some of them won't even have kids or whatnot. So just really think about what you want to endeavor in. Like, it's more, you know, like they've been put together programs like this to be able to connect y'all to certain people like us or whatnot. So take advantage of that, take heed of that, and don't think this is a game, because this is a real reality. So go.
And let me just give you guys a scientific answer to stress. Stress.
Uh-oh.
Stress.
Uh-oh.
Okay? We're talking about stress and its necessity for our growth. Because the people that we're here to serve tonight, you have found yourself in particularly stressful situations at a very young stage. So I'm going to talk to you as a seed. So if I wanted to start a plant, and I put a little dirt in there, that seed in there, and water it, give it some sunlight, water it on time, it's going to grow. If I don't come past it, though, fan it, or put it under the ceiling fan, put it near a fan, put it near a vent, that plant is not going to survive. You need to come by and do this. Come by and do this. As it starts sprouting up, you got to come by. You got to fan it. Why would you do that? You got to give it strength to sustain the winds that are going to blow. A little stress is necessary for your strength. Without that, the first wind that blows, you're going to break. You're going to fall. So it's okay to have a little. It's not okay to worry. Okay. Because God says, cast your cares upon him because he cares for you.
You got to go through the triumphs.
Okay, so there's a difference. That little stress is necessary, and it can be healthy for your growth. Giving up, that is not an option. Throwing in the towel, that's not an option. But I just want to encourage you. You found yourself in stressful situations. It's making you stronger. Don't break. Look for what was I to learn in this, so you don't have to take another lap and learn that lesson again. It's okay.
You got to go through the rain to understand and appreciate the sunshine. 2 claps, y'all. All right, let me ask you real quick. We're talking about stress. We are in schools every day. I'm talking elementary, middle, and high schools. I need all our young people to stand up. If you're a young person in middle school, elementary, or high school, stand up real quick. And then I need my man Antonio Patton Jr. Come up to the front, man. I want to turn this up real quick. I need you to help somebody. Hurry up, man. Come on up. Because I tell you this, if you don't go to the schools and see what these kids are going through every day, you don't know the stress that they're really under. It is hard in these schools because you got 2 choices in schools. You either going to be a cool kid or you're going to be a lame kid. There's no gray area. If my young people agree with me, give me 2 claps. Maybe I'm wrong. Either you cool or you lame. 2 claps if you feel me. What I need to know is, how do you not succumb or give in to the peer pressure when you are being told in school to, somebody help me out, young people, what are you being told in school by your peers that you know is wrong? Yell it out. Give me one thing.
Smoking weed.
What?
Smoking weed.
Smoking. Raise your hand if you believe that that is a true statement, that in school you are being forced and peer pressured into vaping. Raise your hand.
Skipping class.
I need the hands up. I didn't say you were doing it, but are you feeling the peer pressure to do it? I know some kids that came in here high today. I ain't going to call you out. They high right now, and your hand is down. I'm going to ask my man AP. When you go to school, man, how do you make the decision to do what's right versus doing what's wrong? And you know that you're going to face the criticism or peer pressure from your friends? How do you make the decision to be in the right versus being in the wrong? Help me out.
I don't know. My name is Antonio Payne. I don't know my pops here. My pops in here. I'm junior. My boys over there. I stay with the same people every day. No new faces, man. I stay out the way. Stay around the same people. Take advice from people that's older than you. It's always cool to take a different route. Always be yourself. You know, everybody got a story. He put me on the spot right now. He put me on the spot, so
time.
like,
It's okay.
I ain't even know I was gonna be up here, man. Appreciate it though, man. Love.
Now, for our youth panel, asking you guys the same thing. Tell the audience what pressures you guys are facing in school that maybe a mom or a grandmother in the audience has no clue that her grandson or her granddaughter is facing in school. And you're not snitching, you're just being honest. Who wants to take that question?
I would say that.
What's your name? Tell us your name.
My name is David Lay. I would say that it's a collective of things because nowadays kids are getting peer pressure to do anything just to look good in front of the crowd. The kid that you might see at home might not be the same kid that you don't see when he's at school.
Oh, whoa, wait a minute. What'd you just say?
The same kid you might see at home is not the same kid you might see at school.
Our kids are two-faced. No, know that. Know that. Our kids are two-faced. The same kid that comes to your house is not the same kid that goes in school. They have to put on a whole different face to survive at school. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because at home, how can I explain this? Basically, some kids go to school and they put up a front to look cool in front of their friends. Maybe because they're not receiving the same attention from home. So when they go to school, they're like, my mom's not showing me no attention because she's working all the time. So maybe I got to go to school and impress my best friend by doing something dumb or being a class clown. And now he's getting in trouble. But he's making everybody laugh. Making everybody laugh probably brings something in him, you feel me? And he's going to keep doing it. So peer pressure is a collective full of things. Like some dudes who aren't really like, some dudes who like hang with like the wrong crowd. They might say,
Please be quiet in the back, please.
Some dudes or some kids in general that like just get into the wrong crowd. They do the wrong thing just so they look cool so they can fit in with that group. You know, just because they want to fit in with that group so they can be like, I won't say respected, but just like noticed. Some kids just want to be seen. Some kids want to be noticed. So you could be peer pressuring to do anything. Like my friend Calvin, he said skipping class. Some kids skip class to hang with their friends because like they just want to do it. Like kids in my school, they like sitting in the hallway, not cause they want to, but just cause they were asked to, and they don't want to seem lame. So the kid you might see at home might not be the same kid that's at school. So you gotta really talk to your kid and sit down with your kid, and you should ask them how they're mentally feeling. And I got a question for the community leaders. I was gonna ask them, since there's a lot of kids nowadays who are dealing with depression, how can we help those kids? What are you guys doing for the youth that are dealing with depression? What do you guys do for us?
Can we start with Pastor Wade and go right down the line and get that answer from each one of our adult panelists, if you don't mind, Pastor Wade?
Can you repeat that? I got a question for y'all community leaders. What do you guys do to help the kids that are dealing with depression?
He said, I'm just passed away. Well, I got two grandsons that stand in my house right now, and they are individually in their place of growth as you young men are. And so because I'm the type of grandparent that takes out time to notice when there's something different or something going on, and I will give them a safe place to talk. I will be open. I can't be closed, especially in this generation here, because you guys are getting information from everywhere. So I got to be open and allow that person to tell me, hey, this is what's going on. This is why I feel like this. Number one, you got to have a place. They got to have a place they can talk about or talk it out. Talk about it or talk it out. Other than that, they're going to live in their head. And I'd rather for them to bring it out of their head and bring it out of their heart on what's really going on with them. And then we sit, and then after I done listened, then I ask them, I say, well, would you like to hear my perspective on it? And yeah, Grandma. And then I would share with them because I'm a woman of faith. And 3 things that I learned, because I too come from, me and the judge were just saying the things that you all are talking about. Well, guess what? It was in our era too. I know it don't look like it, it just only happened with y'all. I'll be 70 soon, but guess what? We was once your age, and we went through it too. So I take that wisdom, and the Spirit of the Lord gave me 3 words. He said, faith, attitude, and focus. Faith, attitude, and focus.
Wow.
If I had got that when I was in school, then I wouldn't have been so caught up to want to hang with the popular bunch. I would have stayed the square. We used to say L7, that means a square back in my day in school. I would have stayed that square, but because I wanted to be popular, I got caught over there with these people that wasn't really doing nothing, but it was just a popular group. And I noticed that the ones that stayed L7, because it's possible to stay that square and let them talk about you, because my mother taught me, if they call you out of your name, is that your name? I said, no, ma'am. Then why are you answering to it? So you have to learn how to stand up. This is your places in school and life right now where you guys got to learn how to stand strong in whatever you're going through. As my sister over here said, it's just a wind coming at you that's trying to take you off of your square and put you somewhere that you really don't want to be. Put you in a depressed place to take you even to a dark place. And in that darker place, that's when suicide start talking in your mind. That's when you start saying, and I'm not going to curse, but F it. And that's 2 words you shouldn't say. Never say F it. What you do, you stand strong, dig your feet in, and you look for a way out. You look for natural resources. As a matter of fact, I'm talking, and you should be listening to what's being said right now because I'm giving you a key. See, you got to understand when the key comes, you got to recognize the key. But I noticed somebody distract you. Distraction comes to take you away from how do I deal with this place in depression. Because we can walk around here, all of us, all dressed up, and you'll never be able to tell that person that's really depressed because they go home, young people, I'm hearing too much of them committing suicide and taking their lives all because they wouldn't talk about it, or they was in a situation like this here where this setting was up and they wouldn't listen. They wouldn't listen. They let somebody distract them. Baby, I can look at every last one of you up here and I can tell there is greatness in each and every last one of you. But until you see it, get connected with like-minded people. People that think like you, people that want to go somewhere. That's cool. Cool not being with somebody that don't want to go with the direction you want to go in. It's like you're pulling against each other.
6 minutes.
Amen.
Panel number 2. Amen.
Amen.
Pastor, I love what you said. I just have to jump in. I'm sorry. I love what you said. Last year I went through the worst time in my life, and I would not listen. And every time somebody talked to me, the person who was giving me the keys to life, I turned my head. I was listening to this person, listening to that person, but not listening to the person that's giving me the key. Come on. She right here just gave you the key. You gotta have faith.
Major
you gotta
keys.
be strong. You gotta be dedicated. You gotta be honest with yourself. And it's okay to not be okay, but it's not okay to sit in it.
Come on.
It's okay to be depressed, but it's not okay to be depressed forever. So listen. Don't listen to respond. Listen to take it in. The Bible said you have to have faith the size of a mustard seed. I had to believe that I was somebody. I had to believe that my voice mattered. That's why I wrote my book. My book is called Finding My Voice. Because I'm finding my lane in this movement. It's not going out to protest. It's not going out to do die-ins. There's other people for that. My purpose is to be here with y'all and to show you I'm not too much older than you. And I was where you were, depressed, sad, stressed. And it took for me to lean on my faith. I had to lean on my God because I was like, God, why are you doing this to me? Why are you taking my father, taking my sister, putting me out here, and not giving me the peace of mind? So you have to be strong, and you have to listen to the people. Because they know. They've been here before. They've been going through this for over 60 years. We just had, the Million Man March in Washington? Why are we still having those?
Come on.
What has changed? And what are we going to do to change it? And if y'all going to be the voices that carry on the torch, be the voice. Listen. Because that's the only way you're going to get the answers.
We dare you to be different. Judge Gaither, we're going to pass the mic on down.
Real quick, too, for you all that are platform. You guys hear me now? All right, so for you all that already have a level of platform, I want to know, especially you, and you, because I know you guys preach, you have churches and you pastor a flock. How do you navigate having platform and not only the mental battles that come with it, but just the people that you have to deal with on a daily basis? How do you navigate that? Anybody. That's for anybody up here that has to deal with people.
5 minutes.
First thing we have to learn how to do is listen. We got to be able to listen to people. Pay attention to what they're saying. Don't be thinking about what you're going to say while they're talking, but really take time out to feel what people are trying to communicate. And I want to circle back to the questions about depression, the questions about stress, because those things are real. And if we're honest with ourselves, all of us experience it on some level. Some people get caught up, some people get bound, some people are able to break through easier, but all of us face situations in life where we experience stress and where we have the potential to be depressed. You know, when it comes to stress, I want to say there's good stress and there's bad stress, right? Good stress happens when you're doing something good. Good stress happens when you're stepping outside of the box and doing something that hasn't been done before. Maybe by nobody in your family, maybe by no one in your hood, maybe by nobody that you even know. You're taking on a new assignment. You're following your dream. You'll experience some stress when you do that, but that's good stress. Bad stress is the kind of stress that leads to depression, that leads to you want to take yourself out, that leads to you want to disconnecting from other people. So you got to recognize what kind of stress it is you're dealing with. I'll hit even depression real quick. You got at least two types of depression. You got clinical depression, and then you got situational depression. The difference real quick is clinical depression is when somebody's experiencing a depression, it seems like all the time, right? But situational depression is what happens when you go through something. It might be somebody in your family died, right? You're not a depressed person, but you might experience some situational depression because somebody in your family died, a friend died. Are you dealing with a situation that's causing you stress? Somebody in your family might be sick. You might be sick. It's situational. That's not going to last all the time. Be ready to recognize the difference between what you might be experiencing. Y'all not too young to be able to wrap your minds around that. So there are different kinds of stress. There are different kinds of depression. But understand that all stress is not bad. Some of it is good. But no depression is good. And so what you need to do, whether you're experiencing stress or depression, is find somebody to talk to. Go get some help. Don't be afraid to say, I need some help, because it's normal. One of the problems we have in our community when it comes to dealing with depression and stress and mental health issues is the fact that nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody wants to be vulnerable enough. Nobody's willing to be vulnerable enough to say, you know what, I deal with this too. Everybody wants to act like they tough. In our community, we act like something's wrong with you if you're experiencing a mental health crisis. Are you stressed out? Are you dealing with some depression? No, these things are normal. So we got to normalize it by talking about it. So find somebody you can talk to. Don't bottle it up, right? But find somebody who's willing to listen to you and be real with you. And again, you can't just go talking to anybody. Find an adult, find a professional, but do what you need to do to ensure your success and your ability to break through whatever you're dealing with.
Pastor Reynolds, new revelation. Give it up.
Give it up, absolutely.
And I think we just had a situation where there was a school shooter, I forgot the state. He went to jail for murder, and because he told his mom the day of the murder, the day he murdered all those kids at school, he told his mom, I'm not feeling right. He wrote it down. He wrote it down. Because mom didn't respond in the appropriate way, his mother and father are now on trial. I think mama just got convicted of manslaughter. The young man committed the murder. I forgot how many people he killed. Look at the news. They put the mom and the dad on trial because there were signs. There were signs that the parents didn't pay attention to. Ask yourself, if you a parent in this audience, an auntie, uncle, if you an adult, do you have relationships with your kids where they can come and talk to you about anything? Anything. Have you opened that door and made them comfortable enough where they can talk to you about anything? Because somebody just whispered in my ear, we'll talk about our kids being able to talk to us about anything, but when they come to us, will you fumble? Where you fumble. Because if you fumble, the streets is ready to pick that ball up. Social media is ready to pick that ball up and dictate to your kid what life should really be about. You, the parent, are the first mentor. What we got next? Miss Janae, do you want to answer that question at all? Or we're doing another question? What are we doing?
Sure.
Yes. Miss CPLI in the building. Children's Policy Law Initiative,
Go ahead, Miss.
Janae Hanger.
Thank you so much. Well, first of all, I'm a lawyer. Okay, that's where I come from. I founded an organization about 12 years ago, and it's called the Children's Policy and Law Initiative of Indiana, because I realized way too many children were going into our juvenile justice system. And it seemed like there was nobody in that space saying why. Why are kids going in the juvenile justice system? And what can we do as a community to stop that? Because we know when kids hit that system, it's a difficult system to maneuver for families and kids. And so I started the Children's Policy and Law Initiative of Indiana to deal with systems and to deal with laws that drive practices that are in your schools. And through collaboration with a lot of folks in this room, including New Boy and Inner Beauty and many other folks that I know so well, we have been able to make a difference. I'll give you one example. Just this year. Matter of fact, it's in the General Assembly. A matter of fact, Judge Gaither, you showed up to testify on that bill. It was a 282, Senate Bill 282. People drafted it that really didn't understand schools. They didn't understand truancy. They didn't understand how the courts work or what the juvenile justice system is all about. And so what they did is they drafted a bill that would be very punitive for a kid who is not going to school. And so we were able to put the brakes on it. A lot of folks came together, and we were able to really educate the legislators to say, wait a minute, there's so many different reasons why kids don't go to school. You can't just have one approach and try to put them in the juvenile justice system. And quite frankly, how that bill was drafted, that's exactly what would happen.
Wow.
And I'm sorry, yeah. And so anyway, we were, collectively, the community was able to rise up well enough that the author of the bill redrafted the legislation to focus on prevention and to study the issue. And I got to tell you, the reason why we were able to go to the legislature is because we reach out to youth, we want to hear your voices about these issues, and we understand that there's a lot of complexity around these issues, and we need to get more resources in schools. And so that's what we're trying to do, is really get resources to wrap around you and your family and really understand why you're not showing up. And I think that's the key for everybody. I mean, I think everybody has stress, and so oftentimes we react to somebody else's stress, and we don't go and say, why is this person stressed, and what can we do to help that? And I think if we were more caring, I love the name CC Cares. If we were more caring about everyone, we would get so much further. And so that's what I do. I really, from a non-profit perspective in systems, but I really appreciate the leadership that we have to have from our young people to make a difference in these issues.
Hi, my name is Sanaya Brooks, and I didn't have a question. I just wanted to talk about the mental health and peer pressure before it got too far past the topic. But I wanted to talk about how peer pressure, you really have to have a amount of discipline to get past peer pressure, because I feel like if you are thinking about it in a way, because I think about it in a way as I'm going to school, and instead of going to this basketball game, how am I going to feel if I don't turn this assignment in and I get a bad grade on this assignment?
Facts.
And I'm failing my mom now. I'm failing myself. I'm failing my future self. That's just how I feel. And so when you're really thinking about peer pressure, I feel like you have to take into account, you know, what you want for your life and your goals and what you want to pursue. So, you know, when you allow yourself to fall into different things and different habits that other people have going on in their lives due to who you decide to surround yourself with, I believe that you just not helping yourself gain, you know, what you need in your future in your life.
Judge Gaither, we know you see it on the bench all the time.
Let me just say this, because my man here asked the question about stress. and I've had some time to think about it. And let me just say this. Stress is asking you, do you know who your op is? See, your op is not anybody in this room. Your op is somebody who works downtown, that changes the law, that manipulates you to keep you in the system so that you can't vote, so that you can't get a student loan, so that you can't get housing, so you can't do anything to ever protect your family. It's not anybody that looks like you. Your op is that person who decided to try to pass this law that was going to punish parents for the failure of a school system. Your op is not the school that labels you with a learning disability, but rather the school that fails to identify itself with having a teaching disability. It's not the school's responsibility to blame you for what they have failed to do for you. And I don't mean you in particular. I mean you, whoever, if the shoe fits, then you put that baby on. But I'm just telling you that your op is the person that prevents you from voting. Your op is the person that prevents you from getting an education. Your op is the person that makes sure there's a liquor store in every corner. Your op is the person who makes sure that you got a check cashing place that pays usury rates. Usury rates is another word for loan sharks. Your op is the person that introduced all these guns into the community. Now they want to pass a law to introduce more children into the adult system. That's your op.
Yes.
So don't ask me what I can do for you. You ask yourself, what should you do for yourself?
Hey!
Because I can't do anything for you until you are ready to receive. And a lot of people are not really ready to receive. Now, in court, I make it a habit not to have ex-offenders talking to young people. You know why? Because every ex-offender I talk to, I ask them, what could somebody have told you when you were 16 to prevent you from going to the path? You know what they tell me to a man? Nothing. Because they're not ready to listen. So you don't get ready to listen until you hit rock bottom. And then when you hit rock bottom, now we can have a conversation. But so when you come into court, my job is to make sure that I put people in place in your space and your place so you can grow and mature. Now, there's a number of people here, and I'm not going to call them out, but you know who you are. You're here because I ordered you to be part of New Boy. I ordered you to be part of Inner Beauty and other mentoring programs. Now, programs come and go, and they're always slaves to the check writer. But what really works is the human condition. Now, when in court, I don't talk about religion because there's a separation of church and state. That's okay. Because it doesn't matter what the depths are of your belief. Do you believe in you? And once you believe in you, now we can have a conversation because you have to have I'm gonna borrow Kareem's phrase. There's no connection. There's no correction without a connection. And you know what connection is? Connection is knowing who you are, knowing whose you are, and why you're here. Because you just didn't fall here right now. Each of us, and it didn't just start in 1619 when the first enslaved person was brought here, but our history goes way back. Why are you here? Why do you do what you do? There's a real thing about stress. We talk, sometimes it's called post-traumatic slave syndrome. That's a real thing. And so that you can't talk about one thing without talking about something else. So, I mean, we really don't have to have the larger conversation that we really need to have, but sometimes you really need to look in the mirror and ask that person in the mirror and not ask me.
Give it up, y'all. Hey, we're going to have to rotate this panel because we got our cohort number 2, but we got a few people on the panel that have not spoken. So if you have not spoken yet, I would like to move that around. Sylvester Edwards, we're going to move around, and then we got Miss Deanna Dixon. Mr. Edwards, yes. Can somebody give him a mic? Hold on, I got you, man.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
My name is
Cohort number 2, get ready.
I'm Coach Sylvester Edwards. I preside in Terre Haute, but I'm from Indianapolis. What I'm hearing is some of the young people, you are lost. You're in the dark. You're trying to find a way out of the dark and not to be lost anymore. You'll find that person out there for you. There's a beam of light that know that person care about you, that would love you and want to send you in the right direction. One of the secrets of life, the shortcut of life, is to find that person, not only that cares for you, but a person who's smarter than you, who is wiser than you, who have more experience than you. You can get there a lot quicker than that person who've already experienced that. I don't have the answers to the questions that you are giving, but then again, you'll know the person that'd be there for you. I was told not to say what I was, but I had been around gangsters. I came in the area, and hopefully everybody will realize, have you heard of Dodge City? I came up through Dodge City. Bang, bang, shoot 'em up. But
Bang,
all of
bang,
us
shoot
can
'em
get
up.
through. No one deserved to be there. Again, I had good people and I had bad people directing me in the right way because they didn't want me to experience the same thing that they was going through. They took the wrong turn at the right place and wind up nowhere. But they set me in the right place and down the road. And today, I am a civil rights worker. I am a president of the Terre Haute NAACP. That is the fight for everybody's right. The judge told you about the laws that comes down to oppress you. That is what our job is to do, to find a way, a niche, an edge, to making sure that you don't go through the same thing that we're going through.
Yes, sir.
Again, find that person that has that halo, that's seen that light, and be with that person. They will take you into the light, into the right path. As
Yes,
I said
sir.
from the beginning, I don't have the answers, not all the answers. You'll find them as you take that short journey.
Coach Edwards, yes, sir.
Hey, let me just, you know what? I got an answer. If you're
somebody
not
give Deanna
registered, if
Dixon
you're not
the mic,
registered
though.
to vote, go tomorrow, register to vote, and then vote every time there's a primary, every time there's an election. Because half the people that do the things that are in opposition to what you want depend upon you not voting. And too many people, my family, my wife's family, literally have lost their lives so we could do what we do and so we could vote. And that's why your opposition works overtime to make sure that you cannot vote.
Yes, sir.
That's the secret sauce. So take yourself downtown tomorrow and register to vote. Still go vote.
Now, Miss can somebody give Miss Deanna Dixon a mic?
May I expound on this for a second? Both with the pastor and the judge. The greatest thing that the devil has done is to convince you that he does not exist. The second thing that he had done is to make you believe your vote don't count.
Yes, it does. Thank you. Miss Deanna Dixon, thank you. Thank you, Coach Edwards. Thank you, Judge Gaither. We feel your
Yes.
passion
Hello, hello.
and your
My
pain.
name is Deanna Dixon, and I wanted to answer your question. He talked about
Yes.
having a platform and navigating all the different people that may pull at you. And I want you to know, no matter how big or small you are, we all have platforms. And there are people that are going to pull at you and tell you you need to do this. It is absolutely possible to be of service to your community and take care of yourself. Boundaries are your best friend. No is a full sentence. Knowing what your standards are, so when people try to ask you to do things, you know what's in and outside of your boundaries. You know, back in the day, they used to tell you just serve, 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 and then your mental health is affected because you're not taking care of yourself. You can't be of great service if you don't take care of you first, okay? Just remember that. And we all have platforms, and we're responsible for managing our mental health so we can really, truly serve our communities.
I just wanted to take a moment and ask the different celebrity judges, to express that when you're in a situation, talking to the young people, when you're in a situation, you can choose between good and evil. And that can choose, with that choosing between the good and evil, it could change your path. And what you're doing that day that could change your path for the rest of your life. And I think that is something that really needs to be talked about and said, because that is, everybody has that moment where they can choose to do evil or good.
Kareem, can I say something real quick? Hey, parents, I know you guys are tired, right? We're tired, right? We've been working all day. But can I tell y'all something? We're tired, and I can see all these people clearing out of the building. But we're clearing out at the most pivotal point of our children's lives. Okay? We're heading home and going to bed and telling our kids to go to bed. It's time to go to bed. But can I tell you something? I'm telling you, right now, this is where they have learned behaviors. Well, we don't really have to pay attention. We don't really have to listen. We can get up and leave in the middle of everything. Okay? And guess what? If you're tired now, you're going to be 10 times tired when you're having to go down to the juvenile justice system so you can go to court. Okay? Or they're in the hospital with a gunshot wound, and you have to go see them at the hospital every day after you've worked 2 and 3 jobs.
Yes.
Okay? So you're going to be tired then. You're going to be tired when you have to get up extra early because they're court ordered to be with you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for 8 months straight, and you can't go out, you can't do anything, you can't go anywhere. So my suggestion to us parents is for us to step up now and sit down and listen, because we want to talk about our children listening. But let me tell you something, I was one of those tired parents, right? I was one of those tired parents that I was like, Cam, I got to go to work. Cam, I can't do this. I can't do that. And guess what? When I sat in front of Judge Gaither, when I sat in front of him and he told me, hey, your son has to be court ordered to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. When I sat in front of Judge Gaither and I had to beg for my son to come home.
Wow.
When I had to sit at Riley and sit there after work because nobody else was showing up at the hospital. His friends weren't. His father wasn't. And it was me. And I was sitting there after work all night long praying to God that my son was going to make it. Let me tell you something. Now I will stay here all night if I have to. I'll show up if you want me to show up at midnight, I will show up. So parents, please, I'm asking you, I'm begging you to sit here and listen to them, because tomorrow is not promised. Tomorrow my son may show me another trunk full of guns that somebody's trying to sell on the property of his school.
Uh-oh.
Tomorrow my son might show me some drugs or some needles, some things that the kids have that they're selling off that they got from their parents' nightstand. So my suggestion is we as parents need to get involved, and we need to sit down, and I get it that we're tired. I'm tired. But I'm here, and I'm listening. And if we expect them to listen, then I suggest we start listening.
Give it up. Make it
We
up.
have to clap for her.
Take the passion.
We
Yes.
have to. And I'm going to jump in, and I promise I'm going to be quick. I met her son yesterday. I came from New York. This is my second time in Indiana, but this is my first time here. I met her son yesterday, and we did some work. We did the podcast. We did everything. And just having a conversation with him, he's not what he went through because of her, clearly. Because when I met him yesterday, I said, he is a lion. He is a voice. He is somebody that's going to be great. I watched him today. I watched him yesterday. To go from where he was to where he is, knowing that my brother was incarcerated, my father was incarcerated, my sister was incarcerated, my other sister was incarcerated. To hear that, it should motivate us to pay attention to this. So we want undivided attention. And when I start calling on you and bringing you to the front, we're going to see what you have to say and how much of this information you retained. Because this is important. For me to come all the way from New York, this was important to me because I don't support organizations that don't do work. My father is a household name. That does not matter to me if the work is not being done. When we were working yesterday, Kareem saw people exiting out the room, the young people exiting out the room, and he said, no, turn around and come back, and they came back. So that shows me that he made an impact on their life, that his word is law. He's looking up to them. He's supporting them. He's there for them. Miss Crystal, she's there for them. I'm hearing from random people just sitting in different places, the work that they're doing out here. This is important. This is needed because it's not happening all over the place. Your son could be the next Eric Garner. What are you going to do about it? Your son could be the next Trayvon Martin. What are you going to do about it? We're not going to sit here and not pay attention to these panelists because we are. Because this is needed. Because like she said, tomorrow's not promised. I didn't know my sister was going to die of a massive heart attack at 27, leaving her 4-month-old and her 8-year-old. We don't know what's going to happen, but we have to be here now. We have to. I fumbled the bag a couple of times being a parent. But we here, we have to be present. We have to be present. We have to keep showing up. And this is the proof. Kareem is the proof. He is the proof that if you install, Miss Crystal is the proof, if you instill all of these things in your kids, they will be great. Just show them you love them. And by showing them you love them is being the example, sitting here paying attention. And when we call people to line up, I'm expecting to see a long line of people that got a lot of things to say because there's a lot of information on this stage.
Here we
Now
go.
let's get to it. Let's have a panel. Let's have a discussion.
I got a question for our young people. I'm going to talk to my man, Dwayne. And I need you to help me understand. DP, stand up real quick. Let's kick this off. And I'll tell you, parents, what I won't do is the kids say there ain't no cap in my rap. I saw a video 3 weeks ago. Young person showed me a video of a young man on the east side that was claiming a gang. He got caught by the ops. They stripped him butt naked in the parking lot and pistol whipped him and made him sit down. They stripped him. It's here in Indianapolis on the east side. Stripped him, pistol whipped him, and put him on social media. Then put that gang out there to shame the gang. I want to be clear. Maybe I saw the wrong video. Maybe it wasn't from in this state. Does that kind of stuff happen out here in Indiana? Yeah. All our young people, raise your hand if that stuff happens out here in Indiana. You know that. High. Raise your hand up high. Keep your hands up. Please don't put your hand down. Now when our parents will turn around and look. Blake, don't touch nobody's hood, man. I dare you touch it. Don't snatch his hood again. He raised his hand. You're going to snatch his hood. I'll call you out up here. You don't want me to call you out because you did something that I probably need to call you out for that me and your dad had a conversation about. Look at the hands that are up. If you can't have that conversation with your kid about something like that happening, you don't know what's going on out here. The young man got stripped. A black young man, years old. They stripped him butt naked, smacked him in the head with a gun, laughed at him, and took his clothes. And the kids that have their hand up, please raise your hands up. Kids, I need your hands up. I got 11-year-olds raising their hands. Trey, how old are you? 10, and he knows about it. Why don't you know about it as an adult? Why is that stuff going on out here, DP? Tell me that. Tell us that. Why are kids out here getting stripped, man, and butt naked in the parking lot getting hit in their head with pistols?
Well, first of all, the reason why I feel like it's going on is I feel like everybody want to prove a point to somebody. It ain't nobody out here. Everybody want to be like somebody. Let's say that. It's not who you want to be like. It's what you want to be like. You can be like somebody in the wrong way or in the good way. It's up to you to decide. Everybody want to be like somebody, dress the same way. Everybody want to carry guns because they think it's fad, because they think it's good. Everybody want to smoke because they think it's popular. Everybody want to do this. Everybody want to do that. While that stuff go on, because of the internet play a big part in it. It also home play a big part. Because a lot of that wouldn't go on if it wasn't for a safe home. If you had a safe home, you wouldn't need to go out and look for another safe home. Other kids, they find safe homes in streets. So you can't get mad at your kid when they go find a safe home in the streets when you're not even giving them a safe home at home.
Talk. Say that again, man, please.
You can't even get mad at your kid for getting a safe home in the streets when you're not giving them a safe home at home. If you're not trying to build a connection with your kid at home, why would you think they would want to stay there? Why would you think they would want to live there? Nah, I'm going to go out here where they giving money to me at. I can buy my own stuff. I know they going to be there for me. It's my father. Like, I done been in situations like that to where that's where my safe place was. Regardless, if y'all say my life is in danger, I didn't feel like my life was in danger because this was my safe place. And that's why I feel like it's going on.
There we go. Let's kick it off.
Thanks.
Ring. So before you go, Pat, I want to make sure respect the time. Pastor Wade has to leave. Pastor Wade, how would you respond to that? I don't know if we have any other parents in here, but you are the parent of a young man. I watched him play at Marquette. Did he grow up in? Did Dwayne Wade grow up in Chicago?
Yes, Dwayne was born in Chicago and raised in Robbins, Illinois, with his dad.
Hold the mic a little bit closer, Pastor.
got it on. Testing, testing.
There you go.
I know I usually got a strong voice. So we was parents that split custody, and one thing we understood that I noticed a lot of parents, even back then, they don't do, when we going through a thing with our other half or our spouse, we tend to take the kid from up out of the, especially some mothers, from their father's influence, and fathers are very important in their children's lives and even in their female lives. So we decided that since we liked each other and we knew we couldn't, I was in a real bad place, and I knew, and it takes a lot for a parent to, especially a mother, to admit that, you know what, you better than me right now. I can't do this. And to allow your son to be raised now up under his own father, who he have got a lot of things from. So he grew up, like I say, born in Chicago, is raised in Robbins. So in each instance, Dwayne being as young as he was, he got a chance to look at life for real, because we was living life for real. We was living life in environments of drugs, alcohol, murder. I was a drug dealer in and out of jail, and I don't tell his dad business because I let his dad tell his own testimony. But he had his life in Robbins as well, you understand? So Dwayne saw some stuff, you know what I'm saying? But Dwayne at 5 years old, when he looked out my window when he was staying with me, knew then that this was not the life that he wanted to live. This was not it. It had to be something better than that. And so long as that thing stayed in that kid's head, I'm telling you, that thing started giving birth. And that's when he started seeing. I'm not saying he's perfect or anything like that there, but he had this thing in him that a lot of adults don't have in them, and it's the letter N-O. He knew how to say no. He knew how to walk away. He knew how to get somewhere when he was angry or he was hurt or he was disappointed, to get that thing off of him, and he chose to go to the gym instead of go to the drugstore and get some drugs, instead of going over here and get me a pint, I'm going to take this down here, or instead of doing this and that. He made his own decision. And that's what I want to tell our young people today. You have to make your own decision. I keep hearing you over and over again. We all are hearing you over and over again, but you are the center of your story. You got to ask yourself, who really is the center of my story? Is homeboy the center of your story? Homegirl the center of your story? Are you the center of your story? You telling your own story. You're a storyteller. You telling your own life right now as you live it. Now it's up to you to decide, do I want chapter 2 to look like chapter 1? And the only way that's going to happen, I call it redefine my mind. See, if you don't change your mind, you're going to still stay stuck in the same place, sitting up asking the same questions, going around in a circle, keep on constantly doing the same thing, all because you are not getting it, that you are the center of your story. Wow. And yes, stuff happens. Lord knows stuff happens. I'm hearing about the beating and putting them on social media. And mamas and daddies, hey, listen, I got to throw this out there at you all. You all done got reckless. We done got reckless in this particular society that our children living in now. I don't know, because we want to be hip or we want to be cool, but we done got reckless with what these babies are watching on social media. In my church, I had a kid that was the best kid. The father was one of them great fathers, and he said, 12 years old, I'm going to take your phone, and she bucked at him. She bucked at him. And we laugh about things they do, and then we wonder why they caught up in the things that they caught up in. A lot of people think the way we came up is old school. We didn't like it at that particular time, but I seen that it was a lot of treasure and jewels in that. We all sat down and ate at a certain time. And then when we sat down at the table and ate, we had things to talk about. Mama wanted to know what was going on in school, what's going on with you, what's going on with that. So it was a safe place. As this young man said, that you don't have it in the homes anymore. They're not there. Mom and daddy not there. And it might be because some of y'all working and you can't be there. But still, what discipline do you have set in place for our babies? Now, one thing about Dwayne, he was my only son. And you couldn't even look at him hard. I got my daughter in here right now, Trigil, she'll tell you, I didn't play when it came to him. But there's certain things that he would not do. I heard somebody say the boundaries. How come our kids don't know boundaries today? How come our kids don't know that they the most important person in their story? How come our kids always want to be like who they see on social media? How come our kids are not content with being who they are? Have you sat down and asked your kid, what do you really want to be? Huh? Have you asked your kids, do you have dreams? What you want to do with your life? Do we have them combos with them? If they do come and tell you, hey, I want to be a songwriter, well, let them write their songs. But then you ask them, have you had children, would you want your child to listen to them words that you just, I did it in my church. I told my kids, write down your favorite song and bring it in to me. And my babies come in with their songs. I said, now go and stand up there and sing it out loud to everybody that's in the church.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Pastor, I can't say them words. Then why are you listening to them?
Yes.
Now tell me how they building you up. You know, we're afraid to, can I stand up a minute, sir?
Please do.
We're afraid to get up in their face like this here. You know, we down here, they standing up over us. The picture done got all messed up. The picture done got all messed up. That's why I said faith, attitude, and focus. Because what with me, like I said, in and out of prison, if anybody know my story, heroin user for God knows how many years, alcoholic, out there homeless. I went through the whole thing, but I knew that thing wasn't going to change until I changed my mind. Because I kept asking myself, why I keep going around in this same circle, coming to the same block all the time. Why? It wasn't my homeboy, my homegirl. That was me. I was making the choice, the decision to follow them, to go down that road and go down that avenue. I got stuck in my cage. It was my cage. I had a whole lot of people in there, but it was still my cage. And my cage was full of drugs, alcohol. We had prostitution going on in there. We had this and that going. I seen murders in there. I seen all types of rock. When you name it, it was in my cage, but I was in that cage with it. And the only way I was going to get out of that cage was to change my mind. And I happened to be one that had a mother that took me to church when I was a little girl. Now, I didn't hear it, but she did take me, you know, but then I found out all you have to do is take them, and all you have to do is wait. The Spirit of God eventually would speak to them. And that thing came and spoke to me one day. Wow. Oh, yeah, it's having a form of godliness, but you be denying the power thereof. Too many of us switching our little butts in churches, ain't got no power and stuff, just having a form of godliness. In other words, we in there passively listening and not hearing nothing, where we able to really go and help somebody that's in this world today. Now, I want to encourage y'all and tell you this here. In that homeless situation that I live, in me being that dope fiend that I was, in me being that alcoholic that I was, always was one that was able to speak. Because before I became that person, I was one that loved books and loved to teach. Well, that person got buried because alcohol and the lifestyle that I chose to live took over that, and I got out of my books. I can ask how many of you in here right now can at least read, how many books you read in a year? How many books you read in a year? I'm talking to my young people right now. And then might be daddy, mom, and uncle. Y'all can sit down and read with them. You got to know how important reading is. If in slavery, I know a lot of you don't even know your history. I hear some of them say, I don't want to hear about that time. Because in slavery, guess what they didn't want black people to learn how to do? Huh? Can I hear you? Why? Because of the power that they know your man got. See, they know you are powerful all by yourself. But when I can distract you, get you caught in some of this music that ain't music, instead of getting you to sit down and read a book, let me find out about Frederick Douglass. And let me find out about, they started as slaves. No, we really started as kings and queens.
Yes, we did. Let's tell it.
And then they became the slaves.
Yes.
But they're not there now. Now slavery is different. And they got all of us caught up in it, our young people in the street, because they got a bigger cage than the cage that you playing in, and that's that cage that's called a penitentiary. I was telling the judge, I said, Lord, you one of them good judges, because I done been before many of them, right? And I had a good judge that talked to me and told me, he said, you know, it look like you're working on something. And I said, yes, sir. I said, I'm tired of being a liability, and I want to be an asset. And the man said, I'm going to send you home. I couldn't go home because I was on escape from the law for 4 years, 9 months, and 6 days. Oh, yeah, I got a little story. So I knew I wasn't going home. That was God's light telling me, I got you. And I went and did my time. I hit my time in SEG. And when I came out of segregation, I came out already educated because guess what? Even behind the wall, it all depends on you, your choice, your story, what you want to do. I might not want to sit around and play cards with you and BS. I can do that in the street. I'm going to get in the library. I'm going to get around like-minded people. So all of you all that's caught up in all y'all foolishness, guess what? You're in there because you're making a choice to be in there. You do not have to be like Somo and Mojo and all them people. Be who you are. Refine your mind. Find out your core values, what you want to do, who you want to be. That's what my son did. And he made it. He made it to Hall of Famer. And it wasn't just given to him. I told you my story, so you know it wasn't from a silver platter. He didn't come from that. He came from the lowest. And then when he got in that league, his heart was toward education, man. He loves education. His heart was toward whatever his mama was. He helped $1.75 million church because why? Because he knew my mama gonna help somebody. And we had everything going on in that church. I had something for homeless people. I had something for addicts. I had something for alcoholics. I had whatever program God told me to open up. And yeah, we had youth program too. And you know what I did with the youth? And I'm going to come down. I know what you're saying. You know what I did with my youth? We told our youth the real life raw truth in the church. Why was we raw with them? Because the world don't play with them. So we kept it real. Then we had educational programs for them when they graduated or when they did this and that. And my youth, they eventually went to college. And I get a call from some of them saying, Pastor, I know what you're talking about now. But if we didn't tell them the raw truth, then they would have collapsed in some of that thing. I said, yeah, but we told you how to get up out of it. How to get up out of it. So I bless God for this program. This is amazing. This is amazing.
Took us to church.
Thank you for your beautiful wife. Thank you for reaching out to me. Thank you for my friend Amara. For reaching out to me. That's my friend I met a long time ago. I do have my daughter here, and I have my other spiritual daughter here. Would y'all raise your hand and stand up?
Let me give it up
That's
for
my
Pastor
Stand up, Mama. She calling on y'all.
Yes.
That's
Amazing.
my nepson right
Amazing.
there. And we just here to do whatever God tell us to do. And everybody, they know me. They know me. And it was a pleasure meeting you. Powerful woman of God.
Thank you so much.
And all of you all that's on this panel, because I'm really going to have to get ready to go. It was a pleasure meeting everybody. I'm sorry if I took up some of y'all's time, but I just got so passionate with this thing. You know what I mean? I love these kids, man. I love these kids. Come on now. All right, I'm so sorry.
Was why the things like that going on in Indiana, and why do I think the youth are seeking that kind of attention? It's because a lot of the people are attention hungry right now in my peer group, and they getting that attention through guns, drugs, and gang beef. I see it all the time. I don't surround myself with dudes, but I'm often in circles with dudes that they try to get that attention that way. Negative attention is quicker to get than positive attention. The attention that I get, or that motivates me, is positive attention. But it's took a lot to get here. It's took a lot to get positive attention. There was a point in my life where negative attention was all I would feed off of because it was so easy to get. Acting up in school, getting that kind of attention was easy to get. I'm not a street dude at all, but speaking of gun violence, if I wanted a gun, I could have one today. I could get that kind of negative attention because that's how easy it is. And I don't want to blame adults. I don't want to blame any of the powers that be, but I do have to say that we often we don't highlight positive things that youth are doing in the city enough. We are so focused. You guys are so focused on the negative things and trying to figure it out. And I understand that because I am too passionate about fixing the gun violence and all the drug problem that's going on in schools with the youth today. But also, you have to, at a point, you have to find that or see that some people, some youth, myself, we feel unseen, we feel unheard. So if we were on a positive track, if we were in sports or we're doing good in school and we're not getting any kind of recognition, and I see my friend and he's smoking and he's fighting in school and he's towing guns and he's posting it on Instagram, I'm going to do that too. I'm going to fall into that same circle. I'm going to fall into those same habits because I want attention. No matter who you are, one of the needs on the triangle pyramid of needs is belonging and esteem. And you need that to survive. Everybody wants to feel, welcome in somewhere where they belong at, right? Everybody here does. And so if you can't get it doing a positive way, because everybody tells you to go to school, get good grades, get involved in some type of program, and you can do that. But if you're not congratulated the way you should be, if you're not put on a pedestal to a certain extent, the negative things are going to look like the prize at one point in your life. And I love what Pastor Wade was talking about, finding out and being the director and being the star of your own story, your own movie. That is a very important lesson to learn in life. I know it's something that I struggle with, but I also do know that in this day and age, with everybody that I surround myself with, it's not easy to figure out that you're the main person in your life, because oftentimes nobody else looks at you as the main person in your life. I know when I was living in a home with my mom, I'm not with my mom right now. And so that in itself, it took me away from being the only person in my life, because I had to constantly worry about where I was going. My siblings, getting split up with them, and it was never to a point where I could just focus on myself. And I know a lot of young people in here, it's hard to focus on themselves when you open social media and you see everybody else doing these things that you want to do. You see people with guns and drugs, and it's like, oh, that's getting likes, that's getting whatever it's getting. I'm not getting that, and I'm not getting that, and I'm doing all the right things. So at a point, where am I going to be the director of my life? So you just say, forget it. I'm not going to be the director. I'm going to be a pawn in somebody else's story. And that Kareem speaks to it all the time about chess versus checkers, being a pawn. A lot of people that I talk to are pawns. And it's not, it's nobody's fault. It's your own fault. You have to realize that, you are somebody, you matter in some kind of way.
Give it up for Patrick Collier. Hey, Pastor Wade has to leave, and before she leaves, I want to present her with this plaque. You don't mind coming up with your family, Pastor Wade, really quick. Before she blessed us with her words, we made this plaque, it says, Jolinda Wade, thank you for your commitment, sacrifice, and dedication to uplifting our Indianapolis community. Indianapolis appreciate you. Voices Ignite, All-Star 2024. Did she ignite us, guys? Did she ignite us? We appreciate you so much. Thank you for your sacrifice. Thank you for your time. Yes, we can definitely take a picture. We want to go ahead and get the panel going. Please continue the panel. We'll take the pictures on the side. One more time for Pastor Wade. Yes.
Okay, I want to kick it off with my question for the panel. And I hear the young people, and I love what Pastor Wade says as well. You are the main character in your story. So when we have young people talking about stress, talking about depression, talking about, the pressures of peer pressure, social media, all of this access to information, what can we do as adults to support you? And I'm asking the young people, because we always say, like you said, go to school, go get a good job, make money, do this. But outside of that, what do you need? What do you need from your superiors? What do you need from your leadership?
You guys, the adults, the leaders that's in this room, the people that come out and support us, just keep doing that. I feel like we talked about this yesterday in the podcast. I told them, like, guys, we always talk about doing this, doing that, but you guys are not here. We need you here in our lives. And yes, you could be here for a day, a week, but we need y'all consistently. Not just a day, like I said, or a week. We need you every single day. And the peer pressure, we talked about it earlier, I feel like that's the reason we have gun violence. We have not just you, I'm not talking about you, but we have celebrities, we have rappers that's talking about pick up a gun, go run this young man down, go run this young lady down. That's what we have in our city. And it's not no more body shots. We seeing young men and young ladies lose their face. We having closed caskets. And we're not trying to do that. And now as a mother or as a father to bury their baby at such young age, we need y'all to step up and come alongside of us so we can walk the path that y'all want us to take, but we can't do that by ourselves, and y'all expect us to go walk it by ourselves. We need y'all beside us.
On the panel. So, we hear the young people saying they want us to show up. They want us to be there. They want us to continue. So just really quickly, briefly, maybe a little 30 seconds, what your next step is after this panel.
Everybody hear me okay? I think one of the things that we can do with the court, by the time you all get to us, there's a problem to address. And I think Hello? And so I think what I can do moving forward, something I've seen Judge Gaither do, something I've incorporated into the way I deal with youth who come before me, is that I don't view them as a number, or I don't view them as someone to just toss away who's got problems. We've got to get out of the habit of asking the question, what's wrong with you, and start asking what happened to you. Because there are a lot of kids who are dealing with unaddressed trauma, and their parents had their own unaddressed trauma. And so you have these things that are passed down from generation to generation. They continue to manifest themselves in risky, illegal behavior. And so we have to get to I know you said 30 seconds, but we have to get to the heart of the problem and address the trauma in these children. And we also have to teach them how to address conflict. This conflict resolution is a skill. And if you don't have anybody making you feel like you're worth something, if you don't feel like you have a safe home to go to, you don't feel like your parents see you, and you have children that go out and they, the old saying, hurt people hurt people. So they're looking to deal with address their own trauma and soothe their own pain by hurting somebody else. And so they don't realize that, just because somebody said something about you on social media or stepped on a brand new pair of shoes, that person needs to die for that. And so I think, we can talk in all the platitudes we want, but I think at the end of the day, we have to get down to the heart of the problem. If we can address the trauma of the parents and the children, it'll make everything else a lot better. It'll make our job a lot easier.
Hi, Attorney Kiki Gaither. Judge Gaither is my husband, and a long time ago, when he was first appointed or, to be in his position, I said, you have to do more than go to work and come home. You have to get out there in the community. We're a two-parent home, had 3 boys, and one thing that we had to do is help other people. We do, because Judge Garner is right. When you come to see us, it's bad. It's bad. I had a young man he burglarized a home so he could get his mother a Christmas gift. And I literally just smacked him upside the head. I said, now she has to spend money to get an attorney. Now you're draining your family. And so what I would do is continue, because it starts at home. When your children come home, the peer pressure, give them decompression time. Listen to them. That was just something that we had to learn. Let them have the first 30 minutes to themselves so they can, let it go down. And I volunteer my time. I charge a lot of money. I volunteer my time for these kids with these organizations. I just give back. I don't ask them for anything. I dig into my pockets. If there's going to be a youth expo, I volunteer my time. I get other people to volunteer. And when I give them gifts, they give it back. And they say, give it to somebody in need. So that's what I'm going to do, continue doing that.
So every entrepreneur that came up here, every young person that's doing something, I have a podcast. I would like you to come on, tell your story, sell your product, whatever you need to do to promote it. That's how I want to be able to help the kids of the New Boy or the Inner Beauty. What I want to say is everybody in here is an underdog. Everybody goes through something. Your story isn't about you. I was born with my situation, but it wasn't about me. I didn't realize it until I turned 30 that it was to go help young people and other adults realize that you go through stuff, you go through circumstances, but you got to get out of it by yourself. Y'all could ask us what y'all want. We could give y'all everything. We could give y'all the playbook. That don't mean y'all going to read it and go run the plays. So you got to save yourself. You got to make sure that you're ready to receive this information and ready to change, like they said, with your mindset. Because if you don't, you're going to be stuck, like Ms. Wade said. You're going to be stuck, and you ain't going to know what to do. You're going to be pointing fingers. You're going to blame your parents. You're going to blame your teachers. But sometimes you got to look in the mirror and say, am I doing what I'm supposed to do for my life to make my life better? Because I work in the schools. Some of you kids blame other people because you don't want to take accountability for yourself. As adults, we have to take accountability for helping y'all, but y'all have to take accountability for bettering yourself. No matter what your situation, no matter how ugly it looks, you got to get out of it. It's not for somebody else to come and throw a rope for you, because they could throw the rope. Don't mean you're going to grab it and climb up the rope. So it's up to you to be a better you.
Yes, sir.
Powerful words. Powerful words.
I feel like this is what I'm gonna do. Like I always wanted to speak to the youth. Like, it's always been a part of what I wanted to do. Once I was able to get a platform, like, I'll be real, like, just like Dwayne Wade mom said, or whatever. Like, I always, like, I'm gonna give you the raw and real, like, the harsh reality. But with me being involved in participating in the last in this last day or whatever, like, I'm really in the streets and I'm really in the field with the kids, with the guns and stuff. And I'm because I understand all forms of life. But since I'm here, I'm like, dang, how can I really bridge the gap for real? Like, I'm like, I need to bring some of these guys that's coming to my studio, because I do always preach and encourage them and guide them into the, I want them to, they want to be like me, they want to be entrepreneurs and stuff, so I try to guide them and stuff, but I want to bring some of the young popular artists or any artist that comes to my studio to kind of talk to y'all, because y'all they peers, and they might hear y'all stories and be like, dang, like, this is, what effect and impact that they have on y'all. You feel me? So next time y'all have another event, I'll be a part. I'm going to bring an artist that has some things going on or whatnot, and he comes from a bad environment. His mother died, you know what I'm saying? And he's the #1 artist in the city right now. And I just feel like y'all be able to really get a connection, like y'all be able to learn from him, and he'll be able to learn from y'all. So I'm 100% dedicated. So every event I'm gonna try to make or whatnot, you know what I'm saying? So I'm here for y'all. And like I said, like most of y'all young kids have followed me on Instagram and stuff. I had followed y'all back. Y'all write me, I write y'all back. Y'all might, somebody asked for a cash app, I cash app. You know what I'm saying? I'm a real guy. Just, anytime y'all might be going through something, y'all got a question or anything, please feel free to hit my inbox. I will respond back in a fashionable manner, you know what I'm saying? And I'm going to keep it a band, FaceTime me, I don't care, you know what I'm saying? Whatever to help y'all get through y'all situation. And like they said, it do start with y'all, you know what I'm saying? Y'all got to face yourself, and y'all got to face adversity. Y'all got to prioritize what y'all need to do, what's important, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know if y'all need to be in them books, then y'all need to be in them damn books. You know what I'm saying? As simple as that. Instead of watching Baddies and Carisha Please and Ari, like, y'all got to channel some of that energy and put it into yourself and try to get to where they want to be or farther beyond it. You feel me? So it does. It's what y'all.
Give it up. Hey, we want to, real quick, Kendall, I want to bring our kids in real quick before you speak. I want to, before you guys leave, very rarely do we get this kind of diverse audience. And I want to put something in the atmosphere, and I would love for you guys, starting with that young lady right there who's been sitting so patiently, so patiently. I need you guys to know, again, working with kids every day, we find out information from our young people. We're privy to information, their whereabouts, where they go. There is no such thing as a clean house party these days. Understand that. If you're sending your kids to a house party, and you don't know the parent, if you don't come to the party and connect with the person throwing that party, there might be a problem. And you might find out later. The last 3 parties our kids have went to, and I would love for you guys to speak to this on this stage, because I know y'all know what I'm talking about and can speak to it. Parties, 15 years old, vaping, smoking, alcohol, provided by the guardian at the party. Because the guardian, like I think some of them said it, the guardian is trying to be cool. We got the cousins or the aunties, when they come to the party, they want to be the cool auntie. They want to be the cool grandma or the cool mom. You have to be careful where you send your kids to, because it can go from 0 to 100 real quick. That is happening out here in Indianapolis. So if you don't take anything from here, please be hyper vigilant about where you send your kids to this city. As your Kid will tell you he's spending the night at his cousin's house. Him and his cousin got packed to go over to this young person's house, and then it gets ugly really, really quick. Can you speak to that? What's your name? Can somebody give her a microphone, a working mic, please?
Y'all can hear me?
Yes.
My name is Gabriella Derriviere. I'm from North Miami, Florida.
Yes.
I moved here over a year ago. And the question was the question again?
Give us the underground of what some of these youth parties are out here in Indianapolis. Don't snitch. I'm not trying to tell you to do that, but I need to help some of these parents who don't really know what's going on out here.
Parents, we are so comfortable with this world, and we're comfortable with people. And it is a corrupt world. You have to get to know people. You have to learn people. You have to know what's going on in their house before you just go and send anyone anywhere. And with kids our age, sometimes even younger, find yourself. That's the first thing I would want to say is to find yourself, find who you are. Try to not be in this world. Try not to be of this world. Just be in it. Try to stand out. Don't, follow anyone. And yeah.
As we move down, Mr. Cam, I know you haven't spoken yet, and then we're going to get Kendall Adams in, and we got to get Mr. Powell in also.
With the parties, she said we're comfortable. We're comfortable with drugs, murders, killing, violence, anything in the city that's going on. We're so comfortable with it because it's so normal. It's happening every month, every week, almost every day at this point. That's what we're comfortable with. We're comfortable with seeing brutal deaths. I'm talking about face shots. We're talking about 18 bullet holes in a young man's body or a young lady's. That's what we're comfortable with. That's what we know. So if you can stop that young man from going, no, son, I need you to stay home tonight. No, baby, I need you to stay home. I have a bad feeling. And that's okay for them to say no. They're going to be upset. I'm not saying they're not going to be upset. They're definitely going to be upset. But it's okay because you might save that young lady or young man's life because you said no. And that's all I have to say because for my mom, she tells me no a lot. And I'll be upset, but I know she's saving me from something that might happen. Or even if it might not happen to me, it might happen to another person, but I'm there. So they might confuse that for anything. So I don't want her to be stressed out. And I don't want y'all parents to be stressed out just to say no to your kids. It is okay. And thank you.
It is okay. Kendall Adams, please. And then we got Mr. Powell. Mr. Powell, definitely want to hear you, man. You're in the prisons with these young people. So we gotta get some insight from you.
What's the question, Kareem? What's the question?
Just what you heard so far today. We kind of went off topic, but it's a beautiful conversation. Just when you're hearing the young people talk about not being heard, the culture, what we're dealing with, you're dealing with young people that have made those mistakes, and now they have to live with those mistakes. So we're talking about the culture gap. We're talking about youth gun violence. Just what is your perspective on having this kind of audience where you can speak to these kids on the outside before you get to them in the inside?
First of all, let me tip my hat to you, man, for staying on the grind for this, for this whole thing, man.
Yes.
I heard the judge and both judges and the attorney saying, like, when they get to y'all, it's a bad situation. Well, when they get to us, it's twice as bad because they inside the prison. I'm inside the prison 4 days a week dealing with a lot of the youth. And the advice that I would give real quick, because I want to respect y'all time too, the advice that I would give is that it take a system to beat a system. You have to understand that black people ain't system people, right? We don't operate in the system. That's why we're being controlled by a system, because we don't have a system. So when young kids get in the system, I'll give you an example. I did 26 years in prison. You probably wouldn't even be able to understand 26 years of incarceration. And if I never told you that I did 26 years in prison, you probably wouldn't even understand that. Because I don't come off like I did 26 years in prison. But I went to prison when I was 18. I didn't get out till I was 44 years old. You talking about gun violence? I went to jail for a murder and attempt murder. I was sentenced to 95 years for a crime I ain't commit. You don't have to be guilty of a crime to go to prison in America. It's the system. and the system is working how it's supposed to work. But a lot of youth, when they get into prison, they cry and they want to go home. Well, at that point, it's too late. When I go back to the county jails and I'm trying to get my time back, it's young guys in there, they don't know how to function inside a prison. So, like, what we have to figure out is what is pushing us forward. Cam, what we got to figure out is what is pushing you in the back to make you do what you are doing. And what I mean by that is that what's making you wear the clothes that you wear? What's making this young man put these chains on his neck and wear these sunglasses? Talking to you, Ray-Ban. What's making you put this on? This is a rhetorical question. There ain't no response for it, right? We got to figure out why we want this image, right? This is what we got to figure out. We got to figure out why we want this image, right? Somebody sold that image to us, right? This is a product that they selling to us, right? It's a system. And we have to figure these things out of why that we're doing the things that we're doing, right? Why do I got these Nike Air Force Ones on? Something pushed me to go buy these. I could have bought some shoes like the chief of the police right here. I could have bought some shoes just like him. But what forced me to get them? These the same model. Something pushed me to go get these shoes, right? And I'm saying that all of us, we in here, we influence the culture. Black people, we the most influential people on the planet.
Facts.
Period. Facts. When you talk about hip hop, why are we here today? It's an all-star weekend. Who represents the all-star, the lead? Black people. Black people represent the all-star. That was Dwayne Wade's mother, black woman, who raised a black son, who was a 3-4-time all-star and MVP and all this over the league. When you think about the NFL, who represent the NFL? Black people. Who represent music? Black people. We control all of that. But now the people that own it, they got us with a message and they putting this out here, they putting an image out here and telling you, you ain't gonna be able to sell the positive stuff to your community, you're gonna have to sell this other stuff.
There we go. Hey guys, we are running really, really low on time. We have a lot of people that didn't get a chance to speak. I appreciate you guys' time, and I don't want to waste anybody's time, but I definitely feel that there's some people on the stage that we want to hear from. And Dale Adams, we definitely want to hear from you, brother. We definitely want to hear from Bawana Clements. We got another young man that's on that stage that still has not spoken. And then we're going to go ahead and close it out. So, Mr. Kendall, if you don't mind, please.
Yeah, first of all, thank you for allowing us to hear. I think sometimes as adults, we do talking to, and we don't listen to the young people. So thank you for allowing the adults in the room to hear from youth, because I think it's important. We're not living in their reality, whether it be on social media, whether it be from a two-parent home, whether it be from a single-parent home. We're not living in their reality. And so it's important that we listen, we take these opportunities when they are speaking to us to listen to their reality. So I'll leave you with 3 things. I think engagement, you have to be a savage for yourself. And then finally, you have to value relationships. You know, when you talk about engagement, when I look at that, you know, I do a lot of mentoring, and I think it's important, mentorship. But I'm talking about mentorship that builds relationships, because relationships are what change people. It's not the programming. It's the relationships that you build. And in order to build those relationships, it takes effort. It takes time. It takes sacrifice.
Yes.
It takes saying, I'm not going golfing today. I'm gonna go on a Saturday and mentor a kid. I'm gonna pour into a kid what I didn't have. It takes 2:00 in the morning, picking up the phone, saying, you downtown about to get in a shooting? Yep. I'm on my way down to get you.
Yes.
That's the kind of relationship that impacts change. Being a savage for yourself. You know, me and Ray-Ban was talking about, hey, by the way, we're going to follow you, IMPD News, so don't block us. Just let us follow you. No, I'm just kidding. But, you know, Ray-Ban was talking about something that I truly believe in, too. We're going to fall, whether you're an adult, whether you're a juvenile. Let me tell you right now, my wife is here tonight. Thank you for staying, honey. She has on my calendar to tell my wife that I love her. I failed today. I did not do that. Right? So my point is, we all are going to fall. Some fall harder than others.
Yes.
Some fall, I get a gun case. Some fall, I shot somebody. Some fall, I was shot. But that doesn't mean that it's over. What that means is you got to pick that foot up, get out of prison, get out of juvenile, and keep walking. Keep on trying. Keep moving to the next stage, because it will happen. And then finally, I talked a little bit about it, relationships. If you don't build relationships, whether you are a mother, father, uncle, grandparent, it's not going to work. And I find myself doing this, looking through my phone while my 13-year-old daughter is sitting there waiting on me to have a conversation with her. So I encourage you to put down your phone and ask your child, what did you do today? What did you do at New Boy? What did you do at Inner Beauty? And start that conversation, because when you build those relationships, that's what's going to impact change. Thank you.
The young man right next to you, Adam, yes, to your right, been waiting patiently. Please speak your truth, young brother.
In my opinion, I feel like the young black men, we need we focus on a sentence instead of a bachelor's degree or a scholarship. But I feel like we all need an underground railroad to be put on that right path. And leadership, we all need a voice in our head to tell us, like, that's not good. Go get a bachelor's degree, go get a degree instead of a sentence or a seal, you feel me? I feel like we all, I feel like we all need somebody in our ear to put us on that right path, or somebody to help us, not even our dad or our mom, so a young black man or a young older black woman or any race, to just tell us, like, it's not good.
Who's doing that for you? Strong words. Who's doing that for you right now?
Myself. My dad, he in prison, so I just do that for myself. I have a mentor, Mr. Justin, that also helped me with that too.
You know, it's interesting, the people who are still in the room. I always look at stuff like this just because I think we are in the right place at the right time. The Lord has us right where we're supposed to be. And I guess my input will be short and simple. I think one of the things we have to do as a community, especially for the benefit of our young people, is stop overlooking wrong. When we see it in our young people, we need to address it. When we see it in our marriages, we need to address it.
Yes.
When we see it in our health, we need to address it. When we see it in our mental health, we need to address it. We're a people that continue to overlook and avoid taking care of business when we know we have some things wrong in our house. And what we have to stop doing is minimizing the negativity of those things and start addressing it head on. Not until then are our children going to believe us, because they're looking at us overlooking these things and they know it's wrong too. But if you let it go, why would they address it? If you let it go, why would they challenge themselves to do better? So I think the best thing that we could do, and I won't even be spiritual today, but the best thing we can do is identify and address the things that we know in our families that we need to address.
While those plaque holders are coming to the front, I have been silent for 2 days. And so I want to say thank you all for your commitment to being here for our youth. I wish that it was still full. I should have done this at the beginning. But I'm Crystal Hines. I am Kareem's wife. And I just want to say that my husband is full of crazy vision. And sometimes I'm not always on board right away because it's a lot. We do a lot. But I'm so proud right now, and I'm gonna be like Kareem. Y'all in the back, be quiet so I can say this. I'm so proud of you, Kareem. I really am, because this was impactful. You brought the city out. You brought some really major voices out, and just everything about this was amazing. And so I'm so proud of you. So I also have a plaque for you. I was sneaking around with the people at the place. I was sneaking behind his back when he was getting plaques. I'm like, don't show Kareem. But I have a plaque for you This says man of valor, meaning strength. In appreciation of Kareem Hines, Inner Beauty and New Boy, we honor you for your servant's heart today on February 15th, 2024. Thank you so much for this beautiful 2 days for the kickoff of All Star. Thank you. I believe that concludes our program. We're going to take some pictures. Again, thank you everyone for your